we need to step back a little bit. In those committee meetings, there were maybe 15 of us. We sat down and directed the protests, the rallies, the sit-downs, the sit-downs at the MSU Union when the police came in and raided, the minimal or protest against administration, so there'd be rioting in the streets. So with all that came surveillance. Surveillance was you were being monitoring. You were being monitored. They were watching what you were doing. I didn't know that I was being watched, but I can't say that it didn't cross my mind. And maybe because of my color, because I stood out, there was more focus on me. Maybe because I had friends who were Black Panthers. That also had an effect. All those things I can't tell you, but I know that during the protest period when I was at MSU, it was very difficult to go through campus without my car being stopped. I get stopped. So I remember one day I'm out in the street and the police, as they call the pigs, they did something to the car. And I protested. And wouldn't you know it, they find me and arrest me. It was that quick. And I remember being taken down to the Lansing State Police Station, and my fraternity brothers bailed me out, ended up paying a fine, and that was it. There's no doubt Kent State, Jackson State, those were huge impacts. I mean, if you think about the shootings, I can remember just days after, maybe within a day, people talking about it. And it was all over the press, then Jackson State. And so it was a very polarizing period of time. Blacks against whites, whites against whites, for the war, against the war. What do you do in a situation like that? So I would like to think that we made a small contribution, but really Kent State, Jackson State had a much greater impact because there were students there who died because they took a stand against the police, against an armed force that they wanted to control them. And so ultimately there were people that died. When you think back about it, these were young people who were killed because they were protesting something they didn't believe in. They were protesting policies that they did not believe in.
At all?
No, I hadn't thought about it until you asked to interview me about the war. I don't really talk about my involvement, but I wouldn't change anything. If anything, I probably would have wanted to be more involved. Maybe I should have been more involved. I graduated in 1970, so I didn't see what happened in 1971. I don't regret it. I think it taught me a lot, though. It taught me to see both sides. I would never change what I did at Michigan State. Could I have been more active? I'm sure I could have. Would I want to be more active? Well, time just didn't permit. I think all of us do think about how it will impact our lives.